inside the NHS. For the first time this winter, we've been given full access to a hospital.
I've worked with the Trust for 19 years, never known it to be as bad as it is now.
Over a weekend, we spoke to patients.
We're supposed to be the best country in the world. We're nowhere near the best country in the world, no.
Progressively getting worse, definitely.
And met staff facing unprecedented pressure.
At the minute, we've just got no rooms in the A&E department, so these patients are just waiting here for the next available bed.
How do you describe the NHS?
It just feels like a disaster zone, isn't it? It's just completely under strain, bursting at the seams.
And what's it like being on the corridor?
I think it's really worse. It's really worse.
The University Hospital of North Tees. It has some of the best A&E waiting times in England, but was so full at one point this month it had to close its doors. It's Friday and we're in the rapid assessment unit.
We'll do this one.
It used to be the hospital's gym.
It's always hot. It's because the windows are right at the top. It's like stepping off a plane abroad. That's what it's like. The heat it just hits you.
You're comfortable there?
Patients with less severe symptoms can be sent here instead of A&E.
Right, well, I'm going to do some obs on him first then.
Dawn's worked here for nearly 20 years. This has been her busiest winter yet.
It's exhausting mentally and physically, trying to keep up with everything we need to do in the short space of time we have to do it in. It can be hard and tiring, but I do love my job.
We'll get you there.
Some patients spent up to 6 hours here. Average waiting times are not included in the hospital's A&E figures. How many trolleys have you got in here?
12.
How many patients have you got in here?
18.
How many more patients have you got to come in?
9. There are 9 to come in.
It's about 2 hours before you get your blood results.
I haven't got the time to look after the patients and do their own jobs and everything. It's terrible.
The nurses get really upset, don't they? They really do get upset.
I think the nurses deserve better in their jobs.
The nurses couldn't do any more.
I think we need a proper area for rapid assessment.
If the patients weren't here, where would they be?
They'd be sat in A&E.
On Saturday, A&E is filling up. The rapid assessment unit in the gym is closed.
Lady out of 12 is going into 9.
And Leanne, the nurse in charge, must find space.
Just more patients coming through the door, more elderly patients, more poorly patients. Draw back 50, please. Thank you, my darling.
What are your concerns?
There's not the capacity. We don't have the capacity to safely look after the amount of patients that are coming through the door.
By 4 o'clock, ambulances are backing up outside A&E. Inside,
How's that period on?
paramedics wait with their patients.
They said we've got nothing, so we've got to come round here.
She's looking after me lovely. I'm doing well. I'm in pain, but I've got up.
You're doing fine.
Blanche is 83. And she's struggling to breathe.
They're marvellous, these 2 men. They've never left me.
I know.
I'm in agony.
She's in a lot of discomfort, a lot of pain, and being sat on the stretcher in the corridor is not where she needs to be. We've given her what we can in terms of pain relief.
What does she need right now?
She needs to be seen by a doctor.
That's it.
Paramedics told us they waited with Blanche for an hour. When you see that lady down there for an hour,
It's awful. We don't like it. Nobody likes patients to be in a corridor. But I physically have no room to put this lady in. I have been down and apologised, but there's no physical bed to transfer this lady into.
Across the NHS, emergency admissions are at record levels.
Ah, you are doing fantastic.
What do these lot mean to you?
They're amazing. They're amazing. Yeah, tenfold, they're amazing. Yeah.
Many hospitals are also facing a major flu outbreak.
What's this place meant to you?
She wouldn't be here. She said herself that she thinks she would be dead if it hadn't been for these doctors.
Here, it means by Sunday, every bed on every medical ward is full.
We're just trying to move some patients from orthopaedics to create some capacity. Hi guys.
It's Denise's job to find beds,
Hello, Denise speaking, site coordinator.
to keep patients moving through the hospital.
We can always want more beds and more staff, but you can't go on forever just using more beds and more staff. We've got to look at the other reasons why patients come into hospital as well, and is there any other resources that we can use?
Patients that are in trolleys and corridors are a very rare occurrence within the Trust. My concern is that the year-on-year increase in the acuity of patients and the number of patients coming to A&E is not sustainable. We need to transform our care.
From Friday to Sunday, the hospital failed to meet its A&E 4-hour waiting target.
I'm going to go check the floor. Give us a shout if you need anything, all right?
It averaged 85%, well below the 95% target.
We are losing a lot of experienced staff because they are becoming burnt out. They are realising that they can't keep going like this.
Just discharging, but then when you discharge, it's been non-stop. We've had that many people through today that I haven't been able to give them a drink.
How does that make you feel?
Frustrated and sad, I would say.
Can you go on doing this?
No. I don't think, not just me personally, I don't think any of us can.
Well, you've had a few more years than me, and
yeah,
I think I've got less to give than you have.
How long do you think you can stick it out for?
At this moment in time, I'd say I've probably got about 5 years left, tops. And so far my career's been 4 years long. I wouldn't say I'd do a long career in the NHS.
Step back, Peggy, before you sit down.
And with our ageing population, more patients with complex acute conditions, more nurses leaving than joining in England last year, many want to know how the NHS can continue to cope.
Come this time next year, the same will happen again, and again, and again, and again. And we see all these pictures in the news and the horrendous trolley waits, but it doesn't seem to change.